So it's my day off today in Kiev. I've been on the road. I was in Cherkasy. Yesterday I had a bunch of meetings, so today I'm off. And I was going to be perfectly content with just laying in bed all day, but unfortunately, today in Kiev it is sunny. For some reason, Kiev decided out of all the days of the year to be sunny, it was going to be today. So my ass is getting up. I'm about to drink some tea, a little hot water. After my tea and breakfast, I'm going to be going over to a statue here in Kiev called Rodina, mать in Russian, which means Motherland. The statue was designed by a Soviet architect by the name of Yevgeniy Vuchetich. Try to say that 3 times fast. Yevgeniy Vuchetich was a famous Soviet architect. If you don't know his work, it's probably because you weren't born in Eastern Europe. Yevgeniy Vuchetich is famous for all of his monumental Soviet pieces. One of them is Rodina, mать, which means the motherland is calling, in Volgograd, which is the tallest monument in the world. Yevgeniy Vuchetich is also famous for his statue, which is at the United Nations art collection, called Let Us Beat Swords into Ploughshares. A fine name for both a statue and also possibly a folk emo band, I'm thinking, right? So this statue, Rodina, mать, or Batkivshchina mati in Ukrainian, is a very important statue. It was designed in order to be able to represent the collective forces of the Soviet army during World War II, also known as the Great Patriotic War. 20 million Soviets lost their lives. So this is a huge and monumental part of Soviet and Eastern European history. However, currently its existence or continued existence is kind of in question. The issue is that the statue itself holds a very large shield, and that shield has the state emblem of the Soviet Union. For those of you that don't know, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, and currently relations between Russia and Ukraine are pretty icy. So the Ukrainian people aren't too happy about the fact that there is a very large statue off of the river Dnieper that has a huge emblem of this place and time that they kind of wish didn't really happen. Not to get too political here, but there is a continued question as to how Ukraine will reconcile its time as being part of the Soviet Union while still moving forward with an identity that is uniquely Ukrainian. So with that being said, I'm going to be eating some breakfast today and then going over to this statue. My breakfast here in Ukraine consists of tvorog, which is really good, and then some Smetana that you put on top of it. Tvorog and Smetana aren't really available in the United States. You can kind of make tvorog in the United States. I've made it before with cottage cheese, but you gotta use a cheesecloth and put a bunch of cottage cheese in the cheesecloth and then wring out all of the cottage cheese juices, let's call them. And then what you're left with is kind of like tvorog, but not really. So I'm gonna get on this tvorog and Smetana business, and then afterwards get over to the statue. So I'll see you over there.
Alright, so I've almost made it to my destination of the Motherland Statue, which is right behind me. I have climbed over hills, I have gone up them, down them, all the way around them to get to this point. So I'm not really looking forward to going up this next hill, but I will for YouTube. Ooh, I'm a little out of breath here.
Finally made it here to the Motherland Statue of Kiev. Look at her. She's quite a beaut given her age. The statue itself is about 335 feet tall. It sits atop the World War II History Museum. Over here you can see some tanks and stuff. That big blue river over there is the Dnieper River. And then over here we have a very important building to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. Fun fact, in case you didn't notice, that sword up there in her right hand not really a size queen sword, is it? Reason for that being is that originally it was much longer, but then was viciously cut down because there was concern that it would be taller than the tallest point of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church to the right. So, in an unprecedented move, they decided to actually shorten the sword and left her on teeny weeny status. Over here we have the Eternal Flame, which you might ask yourself, why is there no flame? This is another one of the controversial issues between Ukraine and Russia. They have decided not to continue the burning of the Eternal Flame because of the cost. So along with the shield held in the left hand of the Motherland statue, their future here in Kiev is kind of up to some political questions, so we'll see what happens. Some pretty cool Soviet art over here. We have some statues of soldiers, and then underneath the bridge that leads to the Eternal Flame, you have statues of all the, you know, civilians who help support the war effort. The Soviets did a pretty good job at, you know, doing this kind of stuff. Especially appreciate their appreciation of beefy men and women holding wheat.
Stalin say like and subscribe.